So thank you guys for not showing up in that much numbers. But it's quality, not quantity that counts. So thank you very much anyway. And I have to start up with presenting myself. My name is Martin. I am one of the partners in Ucommerce, and today I'm joined by Jens.
Yep, I'm Jens from Webmind in Sweden. We're an Umbraco partner and a Ucommerce powerhouse.
Good. So that was 2 names out of 15. We need to do a shout out again because everything that you're going to see today is more or less based on the work of one brilliant man. And I'm not talking about Nils. I'm actually talking about Matt Brailsford. Yay! Because very much of what we're going to be seeing today is referring around the concept of nested content that has now become part of the platform. Anyway, what we're going to be talking about today is something which is a brand new product from Ucommerce, which is called Uccelerate. Basically, what we want to do is we want to get closer to the point of where customers actually experience the value of what we're proposing to them. We were planning on launching this to Code Garden, so we haven't actually gone live with this yet. But the feedback of the few partners that we've been speaking to so far has been amazing. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. First off, you need to bear with me for 3 slides, you know, the regular company slides, who are we, why we're doing this, everything. And then when all the fun stuff starts, then I'll leave it to Jens, where he can actually present the product. So the reason why we're here is because we believe in content and commerce together. Typically what I say to people if they come to me and say, hey, we got a customer, they want to go online, they have some shops and some products, etc. First question I ask is, do they want to have their products online? If that's what they want to do, fine, but then Ucommerce is probably not the best fit for them. If that's just what they want, then go with Shopify, Magentos, what have you. If you want to build up a story around your product, if you actually have a brand, if you have a story to tell, if you want to mix your content with your products, then you need something like Ucommerce. Because we believe that not one of these can stand alone. So that's the whole premise of Ucommerce, is that we actually believe that you need to build up a story around your products instead of just putting them online with a price, a picture, and a text. If that's what you do, then at the end of the day, you're going to be competing on price. That's fair for some, but not for all. If you have a brand, you need to talk about your content. A little bit about Ucommerce. We are around the world. We have offices around. We have several thousands installations running. Maybe not as impressive numbers as Nils, but still we have a fair amount of sites out there. And the reason I'm saying this is, of course, to underline the fact that we're not a garage product anymore. We were founded back in 2009. It's a battle-hardened platform. We've followed along in the footsteps of Umbraco all the way. So we've seen a ton of commerce scenarios, and luckily we've actually managed to solve at least most of them. And a lot of these installations is, of course, on Umbraco, which is where we started and still one of our favorite platforms. We have other platforms today as well. Just mentioning, we started with Umbraco. We also integrated with Kentico, and we also integrated with Sitecore, and we're going to launch an integration with Sitefinity next month. And that's the whole premise of we believe that content and commerce goes together. That's why we're doing this. This is our strategy. That was it. Not too bad, right? Good. Now, Uccelerate. A little bit of background on I see you to get started. A little bit of background on Uccelerate. So this is actually Uccelerate. This is our vision of what e-commerce could be one day. Now, some might argue that this looks a little backwards, but think about it for a second. Now, when we're talking product presentations in an e-store, how many different templates or product page versions do you have? You typically have one. This is how a product page should look like. You have a picture, you have a price, you have a description, done. You may even have some related products, but that's it. Take a look at this picture. How many different product presentations does he have? He has one for each of that fits that specific product. That might be on the counter, in the cigar box, up on the shelf. It fits that specific product's characteristic. And that's very important. You need a CMS to build that up around your product. If not, everything needs to look the same. Another thing, we're talking personalization. We're putting millions of dollars in personalization because we want to know our customer. Do anyone believe that we know our customers better than that guy did? That guy knew his customers. He knew their names. He knew what they liked to purchase. He knew exactly what their families were like. All of that knowledge was stored up here. We're just scratching the surface when it comes to personalization. So we might think we're good, but that guy is a lot better. So we need to strive to be more like him. And then, last but not least, and this is where Ucommerce comes into the picture. This is where it actually all comes together. Meet Jack. Jack is the son of the storekeeper. Now, Jack's role is to be in his store, to walk around. Hey, Pops, these oranges has fallen out of the basket. I'll just put them back. Hey, Pops, the price is wrong on this product. I'll just change it. Because what have we effectively done? We've taken the storekeeper or the merchant and taken him out of his store. He's in his desk. He's looking at dashboards. He's looking at Google Analytics. He's not inside his store anymore. He's lost touch. We want to bring that touch back with Jack. So Jack is going to go around in his store, look at image quality, look at which products are being bought together, take a look at the weather forecast. Should we put some products on offer? All of these things should be presented to Pops in there so he can make a decision on what is best for his store. So that is the ambition of Jack. Now, this is a long-term vision, and that's not where we are today. But the premise of this vision is that we want to make Pops better at what he's doing today. And that's where we align with Umbraco, because it's the editorial view to make people able to do what they want and not let systems and platforms get in the way of what they want, but actually making it easier for them. And that's where Ucommerce come into the picture. Because it's very simple, actually. We have, down here Umbraco, fantastic content management system. Have you heard about it? It's really, really cool. Then we have Ucommerce on top. Very, very sophisticated enterprise commerce platforms, but I would be lying if I said it was easy to use and editorial a delight. It's not. It has a lot of functionality in there, but it's maybe not as easy to work with as it could be. Hence, Ucommerce. Ucommerce is a layer on top of it that kind of filters and segments what it is the merchant needs to do, both from Ucommerce and Umbraco at the same time, and making it easier for them to do their job to get the beautiful end result, which is the accelerator store on top, which is Ucommerce. What we want to achieve with that is that you, as agencies, instead of focusing a lot on programming and implementation, you can focus on strategy and content and showing the customers visual value of what it is that they're getting out of their stores. So we've done all the plumbing for you guys. This is all, it's Google's rich text enable, it's mobile enable, it's all what a modern, I'm sorry, I was told not to say modern. Apparently it's not modern to say modern, I don't know. It's what an up-to-date web store should be. That's all built in there. But there's a big but. Can you say that? There's a big but here. What you need to think about is every time someone says, we've done it all for you, it's all there in the box, people will automatically assume, hey, this is something that limits me. This is something where we have the Shopify syndrome, or you're saying, okay, we've done a template and you can't move outside that template. But that is where the genius of Umbraco comes into it, because we've made that template, but we've made it in Umbraco, so you can always go in and change these things if you want to. So it's kind of like a hybrid. There's like an unwritten saying in e-commerce platform world, if such a thing exists, that either it's a shop in a box or it's a development platform. What we try to achieve here is a hybrid. You get a lot of stuff out of the box, it's easy to work with, and you can amend it and you can make it scalable. That was your clue.
Thank you.
Good.
So this is our demo store that's up and running. It's safe, it's tested, and that is not the one I'm going to use today. This is actually work in progress. We had our last publish just 2 hours ago. So if something breaks, you have to bear with me. Niels said something nice during the keynote. Content is still king. Do anyone agree with that? Come on, say yes. Yeah. Otherwise, my whole pitch goes down the drain. So, we use nested content. Thank you very much for that. We believe that most of what we do when we build a website or a web shop is the same from project to project. And it's really the content that makes the difference. So we need to give our clients, the content managers, the real freedom to do whatever they want with the content. So this could be both a website or a web store, web shop that looks like this from the start. And as Anders said, we try not to use many different page templates. We use nested content for nearly everything, and we combine content and commerce the way we want to. So the back office looks like any other Umbraco site, basically. We have our Ucommerce node here, but we try to keep as much as possible in Umbraco, because we might understand where the difference is between Ucommerce and Umbraco, but we feel that many of our clients doesn't really know the difference and what to do where. We have home nodes for different stores, different languages. We have settings we have moved out here, and we have something that we call global content. One thing that I miss in nested content is a way to copy one block of content from one page to another. So we have done this global content. It's still nested content. I can create a piece of content here that I later on can use wherever I want with nested content. For example, a newsletter sign-up block. I maybe want this on several different pages. We have our settings node. Sorry about that. So, we have one English version and one Swedish version here. We try to move out a lot of stuff that we usually maybe put in hard-coded in CSS or in templates. But this way we try to give the manager the possibility to change things as they work with it. We have a shop node, and even here we move out some basic settings from Ucommerce to Umbraco. We have settings for product page, for checkout, which content page we want to land on. We have currency pickers. We have some general settings. It's some appearances. It's favicons, apicons, and it's all those basic settings you usually use: SEO, newsletter integration, Instagram integration, comments, and of course some Google implementations. In the footer and header, we can change the content with nested content again, of course. We can change some appearances. And the same goes with the header. So, this is built with nested content. We can move stuff. We can decide if we want to show products on the start page, if we want a blog feed, or what else. We have a search function that we can connect different products to. And we can also do a quick search. This updates simultaneously, so of the text behind. It's nice looking thing, and the products. We can build different stores, different sites with different languages. This English version has several different currencies, but the Swedish one only have one currency, so we don't need to choose that. This is pretty much how a Swedish chef look like. This is a buy button. We can put it anywhere we want. So we have a hero block, and it's really flexible, so we can use a background image or a background video. We can use text in different ways. We can set text color and how we should present text and how we want the hero to look like. You get a really flexible so something like that. That wasn't so nice. I put something back there. We have this buy button, and this is one way to connect commerce and content. We just browse through our products here. We have one store. We have, one category, and we can choose a product. Here, I changed that one. We add some text. We can change the layout of the button, and we publish. So what this button does is put that product straight to the basket. This was maybe not so impressive in this context, but it gives the editor really the opportunity to do whatever they want. We can have different kinds of images and text and just put in the buy button where it belongs. So this is another way to work with commerce. We can create product lists. We give it a header, and we can the same way browse through our Ucommerce products, and we can choose the products we want to use. We can change the appearances a bit. And in that way we can always present products where we want to have them. And this also have kind of a nice feature. In mobile position we can have vertical slides on this grid. We also have this global content gallery. It's an easy picker to choose from those global content we created before. Any questions so far? Come on, something? Is it so simple?
It is what it should be, right?
Yeah, it is. So, another thing we wanted to take control of is the structure for the store. Maybe we don't want or need the same structure for clients that we have in Ucommerce or in our business system. So each category page is just a regular content page. We have this store. We use a hero here. And yet again, we have a function that looks like this, a widget that looks like this. But this one shows a whole category. Sorry, I'm not used to this computer or this pad really. So we have chosen this whole category. And we have settings for this. So we can change each category page, how it works and how it looks. It makes sense really. You usually maybe have the same settings for all the categories on the web shop. But some categories need filters to be shown all the way, so we can pin them here. And for some categories, filters isn't necessary at all, so we can hide them. We can choose how many products we want to show per page and how we will load more pages. We also choose what kind of filters we want to show, and we can change the appearance a bit of the widget. Like this. So the content editor build up each category page as they want. You can use heroes, you can use text block for SEO text, you can add galleries and connected relevant products and stuff like that under if you want to. But you don't have to follow the same structure for each and every category. I think that's most of the basic functionality. We want this to be really easy for the customers as well. So we could actually go to the checkout really fast, really simple. These are as well settings now. In many stores, you want to hide the footer and the header when you're in the checkout. You don't want the customer to have a chance to sort of regret themselves or leave the checkout. But this is only settings here. We can use Klarna checkout. It's really common in Sweden, and I think it's growing in other parts of Europe as well. If we do that, then the checkout would remember me from whatever Klarna site I would have shopped in before. And all this would have been ready for me, just to click the order button. Did I mention this is work in progress? Okay. One more try. I couldn't get away with that. And there, it's done.
Yay!
We made templates for a lot of different widgets. So it should be really easy to combine the pages as you want them. And then of course you can always put in the buy button or some other product listing in here. And I think when we use the grids we can do really cool stuff. Easy peasy, and we can add the add to cart button here as well. Yeah, any questions so far? Some questions.
How's the grid layout then?
How do you mean? How?
Grid page.
Sorry. We use cards or pods. Go to this page. We have lots of settings for each kind of content, each kind of widget we use. So it gets really flexible. It looks kind of messy, perhaps, when you take a first look at it. But when you get used to it, you can really do whatever you want with every kind of settings. Something I forgot, Martin?
No, two things that I typically highlight when I do this for customers is the content picker. Just showcasing all the possibilities that you have inside the content picker to add these layers up to. We just basically, when we do demos for a customer, we kind of have, here's a page, you have your button, you have your header, your footer. Okay, what do you want on your page? And then we can just start building it. And then in 30 minutes of a demo, we build up their web store and we have a product for them and they can actually see it. So that one in there shows them, if you're a content editor, you can actually see, okay, I can do all these things. And then when we explain the grid, that you can have nested content within nested content, it's kind of like, okay, so where are the limitations of what I can do content-wise with this? And I still haven't found it. So that is a very, very powerful tool. And the second thing that we showcase is, of course, the complete mobile enabled, and hats off to Umbraco for the preview functionality. That kind of blows their heads every time that we can just, this is mobile enabled for every kind of scenario. So this might be run of the mill for someone, but for a lot of the e-commerce directors or digital merchants out there, they all of a sudden see that they're not confined into some sort of predefined template. It's like, okay, so if you have a video, yeah, you can throw it in. If you have any type of content that you want to present together with your products, by all means, go right ahead. And that is the strong point of a CMS when you're working together with commerce. So the reason why we're really excited about this is because this really exemplifies what it is that we're trying to do with the platform, combining content and commerce. So that's it. And we did make one promise before we went on here, is that we wouldn't keep people from their beers for a full hour. And I don't think we're going to do that. So we won't stand in the way of 50 Umbraco developers and their afternoon beer. That would be a foolish mistake. Can you turn to the last slide of the presentation?
I don't know if I can.
Okay. I'm full of confidence in you.
Thank you.
So we haven't really launched this. We will wait until Code Garden for the big thing, because we do believe this is a big thing. If you want to get a look at it, ucommerce.net/uccelerate. There are some brochures around. We would love to do a demo. If anyone wants to answer some of the questions, okay, how can we actually work with this? What we're doing right now, as I mentioned, we have more than 10 customers that we actually do POCs for. We've hired someone who can actually do a web store for them in like half a day. Okay, here's your front page, here's your product page, here's your about pages, here's a blog, etc. And they were like, okay, so what do I need now? Then, of course, you need all the integrations, blah, 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 blah. And we're not done, but this really simplifies how you can work with content and how we can make it easy. So that was the whole point of our presentation. We really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions that you have been keeping inside while Jens has been asking all along, you're more than welcome to state it now. If you want to have a look, get a hold of us. We're really excited about this, and we're going to continue developing. You're going to go launch an Instagram shop as well, and there's a bunch of stuff coming along. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how is it going to work in practice? Is this like some kind of starter kit that you would start from, or would it be updates coming, or?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
So this is an accelerator. So the partners that we've been talking to have all said, in a moment of self-realization, we have given them an e-commerce platform that has a ton of opportunity, but they need 200 hours before they can actually show the customer anything of value. This is value right there. So you save 200 hours off your project, and you can say to the customer, okay, dear Mr. Customer, now let's talk content. Now let's talk strategy. All those things that you love to talk about, because we have this starting point. And the great thing about it is that we will continue to maintain this and develop it, so you don't have to do that yourself. You can always get an updated version of your baseline for a commerce project on Umbraco, because we'll make sure to keep that up to date. That's really the proposition. So you can go and present value to your customers right off the bat, and don't have to charge them, 500 or 1,000 hours for a commerce project, but you can go much lower than that.
And you can continue to develop and extend it.
Yes. Very important point. It's not a shop in a box.
The starter kit, it's basically just HTML, CSS, some scripts, and settings for Umbraco and Ucommerce. So you can do whatever you want with it, extend it, and integrate other systems and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of options for the layout part, like centering choosing colors. It cannot be turned off because some customers can handle that, but other customers will make a mess of it.
We try to keep, we set basically 3 colors, for instance, so they can't choose whichever colors they want. So we try to keep it so it's kind of flexible, but you can't really go completely out of rails.
It's a delicate balance, right? Because it is their website at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
I like that it's it's not a random color picker. It's after all it's from a palette that gives the editors or the digital merchants the flexibility to actually promote a product. After all, they're the ones who are selling the product, and sometimes we just want to scream discount or something.
Yeah, but you're right. But it is a balance and again, as Jens said, it's all Umbraco, so you can change and amend it as you like to.
Can we tweet the link?
Yes,
please do.
by all means. But take a picture. Oh, rather forgiveness than permissions. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for participating. Let's go out and have a beer. We've had a blast doing this, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to be talking a lot more about Ucommerce in the future, because it is the future. Wow. So, let's go have a beer.